I'm Dr. Lindsay Coble.
Dr. Noelle Crosby, and we're the Sound Sisters, and this is the Hearing Diaries. Today, I am so excited to have somebody very near and dear to me on the show, Dr. Pam Dorn. And Dr. Dorn is someone who brings years of experience, years, right? Years of experience across different settings, along with real world leadership and team experience. So we're so happy to have you with us today, Pam.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And I want to tell a little story about Pam and I. So back last May, my other audiologist who had been with me for 5 years, who I loved, decided that she was going to make a change. She lived really far away from my office, and I just knew it was going to happen at some point. I was pretty devastated because I really enjoyed her and having her here, but I also didn't think I was going to find anybody else because Inglewood's a little town. I only needed a part-time person. So somebody told me about Pam. Pam had just moved here from New Jersey. She was an Oticon rep who had just left to come to Florida, and she lived relatively near where my office is, and it was almost too good to be true. I was like, so excited about it. And so then Pam, like at first, she didn't have her license yet, and I didn't think that she was going to be ready for it to work out. But then maybe a week or so later, I talked to somebody else about it, and they're like, oh no, talk to her. So Pam and I connected. She came to see me, and it was like a perfect fit right away. And so she's been with me since last July. Oh, and funny thing is too, I met her, I interviewed her, and then we're doing all the finalizing the contract and everything. And I go, by the way, do you want to come to our 4th of July party tomorrow? So she's like, sure. I go, well, if she can like get to know my family and get to know
How
me,
nice. Yeah.
then she can decide, do I really want, to work with
Yeah.
Noelle? And she fit right in. It
At
was
least she didn't jump
perfect.
ship after that, Noelle. She's still here.
Yeah. So I don't know what you want to say about that, Pam, but it was just a wonderful.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was great when I met you. I felt like we just had such a connection. We actually had like a lot of mutual friends. I feel
Yes.
like we've been in the same circles, but we never were able to really connect. And so when I met and we talked, it was just like, this was the right fit.
Yeah. And I
And the
felt
move,
so lucky about that too, because there were so many people around here looking for audiologists. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm so fortunate. So
And the move
anyway,
from New Jersey to Florida, that was good timing because this winter was nasty for
yeah.
anywhere that could possibly get snow. So good move.
Thank you.
Yeah. And she's already got where she lives. She already has her group of friends, and she's playing
Oh, so nice.
pickleball and doing
So
bocce
nice.
ball and involved in all these different, like I think she has more friends now than I do.
Oh, that's quite the feat, Noelle.
I know. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll need to live in a place like that someday.
Quite the
But anyway,
feat.
let's get back to the business at hand. So tell us a little bit about how you got into audiology, a little bit about your origin journey.
Yeah. So originally, I went to school. I went to SUNY Buffalo. I thought I was going to go for physical therapy. Went for my first semester and realized this is more of medicine, a doctoral program, like to be on the doctor track. So my second choice was communication disorders. So, like everyone else, I went for communication disorders, took one class in audiology, and knew audiology was for me. Still trying to understand the whole top down, bottom up theory and speech. So,
Right.
chose audiology and then realized I had to go on to get my master's, which I went to University of Connecticut and got my master's there. And, always was interested in helping people.
hmm let's
Yeah.
talk about your career journey. So you worked in a variety of settings. Maybe walk us through that, where you started your career, kind of where the bulk of your
Yeah.
career was. What was that experience like?
So interesting enough, I grew up in a small town in the Catskills and I graduated with my master's. I did not have an audiology position. I was working at my summer job, which was a health inspector for the New York State. So I did that.
Oh, I didn't even
I,
know that little piece of information.
Yeah,
yeah.
you always learn on
So,
these things.
so
Yeah.
that's why yeah. So I had that, my background as a New York State health inspector. So I went to the podiatrist. My mom worked there. I needed some things done on my feet. And so in a small town, he knew an audiologist, and I met with him kind of the same way I met with you now. Met him at a restaurant, not even prepared for an interview. And so he owned a private practice in Kingston, New York, and also had Miracle Ear franchises. So he made me feel really good telling me I didn't know anything. I didn't learn anything. School did not give me a good enough education. So, but I said I wanted to make money, and that's how he hired me. So I worked in 3 counties. He had a private practice, and I went to hospitals and ENT practices, and he put me through the Miracle Ear training. And that was understanding the patient journey of, in denial to actually accepting hearing aids. And that really was an amazing experience for me. So I started there. I worked a couple of years in Kingston. Then I had the opportunity to move to California. I worked at his Miracle Ear franchise. So funny thing is, I go out there, here I am working Miss Professional, go into this to the Miracle Ear practices, and it was telemarketers and punk rock haircuts and everything, and here I am, Miss Professional. But so I worked there.
He's a fashionista, so
yeah. I worked there for a short time. I learned my way around LA because I drove to people's homes at that time, Miracle Ear. And realized that I really wanted a different track, and that was an opportunity to work at Newport Audiology as an audiologist. And so I went around to different locations that Newport Audiology had. I actually went, I tested hearing and fit hearing aids, which hearing aids I realized was my passion. So I worked for Newport Audiology for about 10 years. I had gotten married when I was in California, and I had 2 children, and I missed my family in New York and New Jersey. So I moved to New Jersey, and there I actually got a position with Siemens Hearing Instruments at that point, which was Siemens.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine who worked at Siemens, she was going on maternity leave, so I took over for her. And I was at Siemens as an inside rep for about 10 years. And then an opportunity became available to become an audiology manager. And then another opportunity to become director of government services. So that was my track there, so each one of those opportunities taught me something new.
Yeah, totally.
And then from Siemens, which then was Signia, I went to Oticon, and I was with Oticon for 7 years as a regional audiology manager, and then I became an account manager. So I was on the road seeing accounts, and then my husband wanted to move to Florida from New Jersey. So then I didn't have a job anymore at Oticon, and I thought I was going to enjoy life in Florida, just sitting by the pool and working out every day, and realized I can't do this. And so I needed to work again, and that's when I was so fortunate to meet Dr. Crosby.
Yeah.
So that's my journey.
Yeah, what a journey.
That's a great, yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the beginning of your journey, because I'm sure being a new audiologist back then and working for Miracle Ear and then doing cold calling, like going to people's houses, that must have taught you a lot. I don't know if I would have been able
it
to
taught
do
me
that.
a lot. It taught me a lot because I went to California totally single. And at that point, when I worked at Miracle Ear, I was 100% commission.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, and the training that I went through with the patient journey was, at the end of the day, just make a friend. So it was really about finding the need, asking those discovery questions, learning more about the patient, building the rapport, and then getting them to take that next step as to, yes, you are a hearing aid will benefit you. So it taught me, really how to get around LA. It taught me so many life lessons as well, like realizing where I was in LA, that it wasn't a good neighborhood. Get in your car and get to where you're going. But it really helped me learn the whole journey the patient goes through. And I still use all that training to today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
have
like
heard
I've
that it's
heard that
really solid. Yeah,
of
that
like,
it's really solid training.
yes, yeah, even though it's, maybe sales training, but like you said, it's patient journey training. I feel like as
Yes.
a young audiologist, that is invaluable
Yeah. Yeah, she learned a
content to
lot.
get and to learn so early on.
Yeah.
What setting challenged you the most? You've been through a lot of different settings, a lot of different roles. Which one did you find most challenging?
Um, well, each one kind of
Mhm.
teaches me something else.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, managing people, that's always a challenge. Getting to learn the different personalities and how to actually work with those different personalities versus your personality.
Hmm.
I am a outgoing, bright yellow,
Hmm.
with red, meaning that, like, let's be brief. I'm not very detail oriented. And I dealt with a lot of audiologists that are detail
No.
oriented and that were very analytical. And so I had to change my style to be more as
Mm,
their style. So,
interesting. Yeah.
I think managing is always interesting. Learning a new role. I mean, I went from being a clinical audiologist to then being an inside sales rep and learning about different working with different personalities there as well, audiologists versus even hearing aid dispensers, learning to ask what is most important,
Hmm.
learning to ask what do you think is fair. So it was I feel like different positions bring new challenges.
Hmm.
Learning government contract.
Yeah.
I never
Oh
did
yeah,
that
that would be.
before.
Yeah.
So that was a huge learning curve for me, but it added so much to what I know today.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and I love, her coming here with all this knowledge of all those different things. She's helped teach me to be a better leader, a better manager, because I know, that's not something I've never managed a huge group of
Hmm.
people. And so
Hmm.
she's been really valuable to me in learning how to approach things. I'm just go right in for it, and she tells me, "Oh no, you need to say it this way." And so I do listen to the advice that she gives me, which I
One
really
of the
love.
best one of the best learning curves for me, we've taken a lot of bonfire training, which is customer service training.
Hmm.
But my biggest takeaway was to use the stop, start, continue for any of my teams.
Hmm.
Never coming in as everything. My
Hmm.
team knows more than me. I come in as a coach.
Hmm.
So to me, what was so valuable is to ask them, what should we stop? What should we continue? And what needs to be started?
Hmm.
And something as simple as to get a fax machine to work
Yeah. Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
a world
Or to
of
get a
difference.
new copier for the office.
Yeah.
So
I
when
like that.
it really helps you understand where your team is, and if you could solve one problem, you've already like won your team over.
Hmm.
And it makes me learn exactly what people need when I ask to stop, start, continue.
Yeah. So nice. It's just good for like camaraderie and to feel heard. I feel like everyone wants to feel heard. And so such an easy question to get everyone on the same page.
Yes. Let's go down to what do you think your biggest challenges of your career have been over the years?
Um, Always having to advocate for myself. So no
Hmm.
positions ever were given to me. I had to work for every position that I got. So promoted and all that, I had to work to get to those, through interviews, through actually, like, I feel like I'm always selling myself.
Hmm. Hmm. I
Mm.
feel like I don't even know if this is in our question bundle here, but as a working mom, you said you had kids when you were out in California. How hard was it to manage motherhood with your, location changes and then job changes and then you were on the road? I know there's a lot of hearing aid reps who are moms who handle being on the
Yeah.
road. For me, that was when I made a huge career change was I needed to be home because my husband travels. But how did you handle it?
same as you. I mean, I was an inside rep for 10 years because my kids were in daycare and
Yep.
I had to be the one to pick them up at night.
Yeah.
So I really didn't travel until my kids were older and in
Mhm.
college.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's when I was with government services. I would travel then and travel to the trade shows. And then I became an account manager just recently because
Mhm.
my kids are adults and they have their own careers.
Yeah.
So, and I'll never forget though, my daughter during COVID, she got her MBA. She was working. She's works as an engineer and she was working and she was getting her MBA at night. And she said to me, "How did you get your doctorate working and having kids and having to make dinner and grocery shop?" I said, "You know how you have downtime? Yeah, I didn't have any of that."
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's how, like, my children have seen me in my career and what I went through when they were children and how it changed as they became adults.
Yeah, but such a good role model for your kids too. I mean, and now they probably recognize your career shifts and changes that you made for them and when you took a step and when you step back. And I think that's, we kind of all learn as we go, but I'm sure your kids appreciate that.
And I have two in corporate, so we have those corporate discussions
Yeah. Yeah.
because I've been in corporate for so many years,
Yeah.
and just having to navigate the corporate arena and the challenges that we face in corporate with major changes that happen.
Yeah. And you can
So,
have those discussions with them. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's great that to be able to, provide that to them too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, listen, is there anything else that you want to add before we move on to the rapid fire? Any other?
I think every learning experience is, different. Our we have so many learning experiences through the challenges that we face, and so I think in this industry especially, so much networking
Yeah,
Mhm.
network.
and so many
And I think that's
resources that we
Queen. I
have.
think, yeah, I
Mhm.
think you, me, and Lindsay are both, big networkers. I think we
Mhm.
all kind of see
Mhm.
the value of that, where a lot of people don't realize how important that can be.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah. So let's move on to the rapid fire.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
ready?
let's do
Right.
rapid fire.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking of this just knowing Pam. What's one word that describes you and why?
You know what I'm going to say? I'm
What?
competitive. I'm
Ooh,
competitive, and I am competitive with myself. I have to be the
that's
best I can
good. That's good. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I have
What's
to keep that in mind with her, I'm
yeah,
not gonna
look
play
out.
pickleball with her.
Look out. And just give Pam the new hearing aid consults. Give them to Pam.
Exactly. That's what she's getting. Yep.
Yeah. Pam, what's one skill you would love to master overnight?
pickleball.
Pickleball. Hey, that's
I
fun.
play pickleball, but I still want to be better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
I'm sure you will be with the expectations you put on yourself. What's one thing that you tell your younger self?
Um, the comp Be confident.
Mhm.
I think I was much shy, much more like I was shy when I was younger, and I
Mhm.
feel like the confidence I feel comes with age and
Right.
experience. So I wish I just was like had more confidence when I was younger.
Mhm. Mhm. I feel like this is such a good question for you. You've done so many things in the industry. Where do you see hearing healthcare in 10 years from now?
I'm just amazed at where we are today. So I can only imagine how much smaller hearing aids will be, how much more technology will be available in the hearing aids. Sound quality is just so good right now. I can only imagine how much better it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And robots will not take away from us. We still need the physical face to face and
Right.
hand holding with our patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your favorite coffee drink, or if it's not coffee, what's your favorite drink on the go?
On the go.
Oh, just anything really that your go-to drink in the morning or to keep you
It is
going.
coffee.
It
Coffee.
is
It's my
okay.
reward for working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what's one thing that you would want to say to someone just starting their career?
I say it's networking.
I like that.
Um, mentoring, like to have a
Mhm.
mentor, somebody that you look up to.
Mhm. Mhm.
Keep your options open. So many different what practices to look at.
Mhm.
Different strokes for different folks. You could be in hospitals, private practices, the government,
Mhm.
Yeah, so many
manufacturing,
different.
marketing. Like, just
Mhm.
keep your eyes open in the field. And maybe if you're, tired of seeing patients, that you go to manufacturing. And
Yeah.
even in manufacturing, it could be, audiology support or
Mhm.
marketing.
Mhm.
There's just
Mhm.
so much in this field
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
it's not only about patient contact. There's
Mhm.
other,
There's so
areas in
many
this
things to
field.
do really in this
Mhm.
field.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I love about it too.
Mhm.
And let's move to what is one sound that makes you happy?
Music. You could do
Yeah.
anything to music.
Yeah. Mm.
What is one thing our profession could do better?
Well, we had to go to school for the AUD, and I think that we could do more in our field as
Mhm.
doctors now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And let's move to one thing about you people may not know.
So they see me as, competitive, definitely want to win, and work out is another big thing
Good.
that I enjoy. But the other side that people don't see and they cannot believe it is that I do crochet and I do
Okay.
knit.
I didn't even
Oh.
know that, Pam.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I
See,
do
I'm
like
learning
3
all
months
about things
relax,
about you
Yeah.
too.
I love that. Okay, Pam, here's Noelle's favorite question. Which bee are you? Be kind, be brave, be curious, be bold, or be happy?
I am be kind and
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
love it.
Yep.
Love
Love
it.
it. Yep. So I want to just do a little segment on our Be Curious today, which I just think people should be curious about this, is that there was an announcement that GN Resound and Amplifon just purchased
Hmm.
GN Resound. So I think we all might be aware of that now. But just be curious about what that means for consolidation and for all the different companies under both entities. Now they're going to be one big giant company. So I
Hmm.
just find that really interesting.
Hmm.
So
It
be
is
curious
definitely
about what does
something
that
to be
mean?
curious about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep our eyes on that one. An
yeah,
interesting move in the industry, that's for sure.
it is.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, in closing, Pam, this was so meaningful to me too, because I learned a lot more about you.
Now you can buy our knitting materials.
Exactly. Now I know what to buy her. Her birthday's
There
coming
you go.
up, you
There
know?
you go.
Your experience, both clinically and leading teams, brings such a valuable perspective to this conversation as well as to me personally.
Mhm.
So thank you for being with us today. And for our listeners, share this with a fellow sound sister because we really are trying to get the word out that we are all better together. So thank you so much for coming on today, Pam.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Pam.
I
See you all next
appreciate
time
it.
on the Sound Sisters.